me. You can't do that, officer, because I called for your supervisor. I have my license. What is the reason I'm getting out?
To give you information. I told you
I didn't refuse. I asked.
Now you're resisting.
I haven't refused. I asked to speak to your supervisor.
Get out.
Sir, I feel uncomfortable. Please get your supervisor.
I don't give a
Don't touch me.
I said get out.
Please stop it. Why are you being like this? This is how y'all really are? Please stop. This is all on tape. Please stop.
Get out of the car.
Please don't hurt me. Why are you doing this? No, sir.
I'm telling you, get out.
I'm telling you that this is not lawful. Oh my God, that's not lawful, sir.
Get out.
That's not lawful.
Get out.
What you just watched was an incident that took place in Tennessee. It happened on March 10th, but we just received a video of it. It was just put out to the public. And the man in the video, a food delivery driver named Delane Gordon, was calm throughout the entire interaction. He had questions for the officer who pulled him over, but the cop didn't want to answer any of his questions and decided that maybe he needed to tase the driver instead. Now, Ryan Wheeler, Gordon's attorney, said Gordon was a few hundred feet away from where he was delivering food for DoorDash when the officer made a U-turn and pulled him over. After the incident, Gordon was booked, made bond, and was released. You might be wondering why. Of course, he was charged with resisting arrest. Wheeler said that Gordon has no prior criminal record whatsoever. And you saw the video, super calm, asking questions politely. But the real problem here, Cenk, is what you bring up every time we do these types of stories, which is don't ever challenge the cop, don't ever question their authority, don't even ask them common sense questions. Even though the cop is supposed to tell you why you're being pulled over, it's the first thing that they're supposed to say to you. But in this case, if you have the audacity of asking, why was I pulled over? Can I speak to your supervisor? He's lucky he got tased. In other incidents, we've seen videos of people getting shot to death.
Yeah, imagine if this happened at any other job. Because it is a job. Cops go to work every day and they gotta work 9 to 5, whatever. It's just, in this job, we've given them massive amount of authority and a massive amount of weaponry. Imagine you go to a Dunkin' Donuts, you're like, do you guys any of you have chocolate glazed donuts? What are you asking me questions for? No, I just wanted to know if you have chocolate donuts. That's it. Let's kick the crap out of them. They come out from behind the counter and just beat you to pieces. People are like, what kind of insane world are we in here, right? Imagine you go in and somebody's a receptionist somewhere. You ask them the wrong question. She takes out a taser, tase, and then takes away your and says, "Oh, now because you asked me the wrong questions, or you didn't listen to me, or you disrespected me, now I'm going to make sure that you go to prison for a couple of years." Right? But with cops, we all take it for granted. Oh, it's normal. If you don't, quote unquote, respect a police officer, which is not in any way, shape, or form illegal. But if you don't respect a police officer, he has the right to assault you and maybe murder you, and certainly make up charges against you, like resisting arrest when there's no underlying charge, and then put you in prison after kicking the living crap out of you.
So Gordon, according to a local Fox affiliate in Tennessee, was charged with speeding, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. Wheeler says those charges could carry up to 6 months of jail time. As we mentioned earlier, he was able to make bond and was released. But if he was pulled over for speeding, why didn't the cop just tell him, hey, I'm pulling you over for speeding? I've been pulled over for speeding more often than I would like to admit. And the first thing the cop asks me is, do you know why I'm pulling you over? And sometimes I play dumb. But as I got older, I'm like, yeah, I was speeding, But that's the first thing they're supposed to tell you. Why is that an offensive question? You're a public servant. As a public servant, you should be ready and willing to answer questions, especially when the person you just pulled over is asking you as politely and calmly as humanly possible.
Yeah, it's all of this is unacceptable. I'm going to say the same thing. The second thing that I say in all these stories, it's in the training. We teach them that their authority is the most important thing in the world, and if anyone, forget putting you in physical danger. Hangnails, you can kill somebody, right? But if someone says something where they question you for even a tiny bit, or they're slightly impolite to you, you have the right to just manhandle them, physically assault them, take away their liberty, make up charges. It doesn't matter. I mean, how dare you? He asked you a legally valid question like, why is the government agent pulling me over and restricting my freedom? The most basic question that I think the right wing would agree is a fundamental question in our democracy. But when a black guy does it, who cares? Tase him, tase him, tase him, stun him. If you have to, kill him and do whatever the hell you want to him, because we train the cops. No one ever questions you, and if they do, just commit massive violence against them.
I want to give you examples of how not only are cops trigger happy, but more importantly, how they admit that they're trigger happy. But before I do that, just a few more details about this story. So far as we know, the cop hasn't even been placed on desk duty. They claim that there's an investigation. The cop is from the Collegedale Police Department in Tennessee. They're doing an internal investigation. The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office is also investigating the incident. Again, authorities still have not released the specifics or their own police footage. This is dash cam footage from Gordon. He was filming it in his car. But now I want to go to the quotes from other cops when they're asked about just how trigger happy they are. It's pretty amazing. In fact, one says, "I'm going to say what no one else is saying." Police officer Travis Yates editorialized in a 2016 Law Officer magazine piece. He said, follow the comments of a police officer. Follow the commands of a police officer or risk dying. After lamenting the lack of submission to authority that is throughout our society, Yates concluded, the way I see it, we have two options to stop police use of deadly force. Police stop being police, or citizens can do what an officer says to do.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. They write that, Anna, without even hesitating. Everybody reads it, nobody hesitates, as if that's normal. No, that's tyranny. And at right wing, that's the tyranny of jackbooted thugs from the government who say you must listen to us, whether it's legal or not, whether it's reasonable or not. You must do what we tell you, otherwise we're going to murder you. If you were an actual conservative, you would despise that quote. Okay, what if he gives you an unreasonable request? Right wing's like, just follow the police, right? What if he gives you a request to take off your pants?
No, but Jake, please spare me. If a right winger got pulled over by a cop and the cop didn't tell them why they got pulled over, they would lose it.
It doesn't matter because we know what the right wing thinks of the police.
We saw on January 6th.
Yeah, first the Bundys. They go and take over federal land, they take over federal property. The cops say you must leave. They go, no, instead I'm gonna put a gun to your head. And the right wing goes, yes! Don't ever listen to the cops and threaten to murder them. Then January 6th, cops say do not enter the Capitol building, you don't have permission. They go, well, let's just assault them and kill them. So you don't believe it either. You just want the cops to beat up on people that you think are your political opponents. You know why? Because right wingers in their heart of hearts are fascists. And if they don't get their way, they will assault anyone, including the police, but they mainly want to use the police as their Gestapo. And so the idea of equality and justice to a right winger is an anathema. They hate that idea. Go move to a different country. This one was based on equality and justice.